Hello everyone, this is S.Pravallika, Assistant Professor, Department of AML, Aditya University. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss regarding project planning and estimation and also regarding requirements gathering. So let us start with the today's session. So at the end of the lecture, the student will be able to explain about project planning and estimation, and also he can explain about requirements gathering. So firstly, project planning and estimation. So what happens in this project planning and estimation? Once a project is found to be possible, the computer code project managers undertake the project design. So if a project is found to be possible, so project is found to be possible in the sense when an idea or else when a particular story which was explained by the client is having a possibility to develop, then the computer code project managers is going to undertake the project design. And project designing is undertaken and completed even before any development activity starts. So we are going to have the project design which is undertaken even before any of the activity has started. And project designing consists of subsequent essential activities, and we are having some of the essential activities which are listed below, and those activities are project size, cost, duration and effort. So we are having 4 subsequent essential activities, and they are project size, cost, duration and effort. So let us see in detail about these 4 activities. So the first one, project size. What's going to be the downside quality in terms of trouble and time needed to develop the project? So in the project size, what are we going to check is what is going to be the downside quality in terms of trouble and time needed to develop the product. So that means what are all the issues that we can face, or what were the troublesome things we are having, and as well as what is the time needed to develop the product. So everything will be monitored, everything will be taken into consideration in project size. So we are monitoring regarding the quality terms, and as well as we are monitoring regarding the time relevant things. And the next one is cost. What proportion is it reaching to value to develop the project? So what can be the estimated budget? So what proportion do we require to reach the value to develop the project? And the next one is duration. How long is it to reach the design plate amended development? So how much of duration do we require to design the particular project? So the next one is effort. What proportion of effort would be required? So how much of effort should we pay for this particular project to be done successfully? So these were the 4 essential activities involved in project planning. So the next one, the effectiveness of the design activities relies on the accuracy of these estimations. So definitely when we are monitoring through the project planning, the project design, we need to check the accuracy of these particular estimations. And those estimations are planning force and alternative resources. So planning force and alternative resources in the sense, so the complete team involvement. So how much capacity of team do we require, and as well as alternative things, alternative staff members or else alternative team members whenever required also to be monitored. And next one, workers organization and staffing plans. So we need to monitor the workers organization as well as we need to monitor the staff plannings. So the next one is risk identification, analysis and designing. So we need to identify the potentiality of risk. We need to have the complete analysis of the project and as well as the design. So the next one, miscellaneous arrangements like quality assurance plans, configuration, management arrangements, etc. So we need to monitor the miscellaneous arrangements like quality assurance as well as the configuration as well as the management resources. So completely this is regarding the project planning. So the next one is project size. So project size estimation. Project size estimation is determining the scope and resources required for the project. So here we are going to determine the scope and resources required for the project, and it involves assessing various aspects of the project to estimate the effort, time, cost and resources needed to complete the project. So in the project estimation, so we are going to have an estimation regarding effort, estimation regarding time, cost and resources as well. Accurate project size estimation is important for effective and efficient project planning, management and execution. So we need to have an accurate project size estimation, which was important for the effective and efficient project plan as well as for the management as well as for the execution. So this is completely regarding project planning and estimation. So which involves regarding the project plan designing as well as the project size estimation. So the next one is regarding requirements gathering. So what happens in this requirement gathering? So requirement gathering is the process of understanding what you are trying to build and why you are trying to build. And requirement gathering is often regarded as a part of developing software applications. So in the requirement gathering, we are going to mainly focus on what we are trying to build. So what we are trying to design and why we are trying to design. So these were the two important factors which monitors which were playing. So these were the two factors, what you are trying and why you are trying are the two main factors in requirement gathering. So here we can notice the image of requirement gathering, so which involves many stages. So the first one, elicit requirements, second one, document requirements, third one, confirm requirements, and fourth one, prioritize requirements. So completely this was streamlining the requirement gathering. So elicit requirements where we are gathering the initial needs, and document requirements where we are organizing and structuring the data, confirm requirements where we are ensuring the stakeholder alignments, and prioritize requirements where we are just ranking based on objectives. So completely this is the streamline of the requirement gathering. So let us see in detail about them. So the three main sub-purposes of requirement gathering, and these key ingredients of the requirement gathering process are requirement elicitation, requirement documentation, requirements understanding. So the three main sub-processes are elicitation, documentation, and understanding in terms of requirements. So let us see the first one, requirements elicitation. So requirement elicitation is the process of asking for and collecting top level requirements from all the relevant stakeholders. So when we are going with the process of a project, so definitely we need to get all the requirements, all the essentials from the stakeholders who are involved. So relevant stakeholders, whoever involved. So it is a process. Requirement elicitation is nothing but a process for asking and collecting the top level requirements from the stakeholders. So the next one is requirements documentation. Requirements documentation organizes the input from the requirements elicitation process into whatever format is appropriate for your organization. So requirement documentation organizes the input from the requirement elicitation. So requirement elicitation is nothing but we are just gathering the data from the complete stakeholders. Whereas in the requirement documentation, we are going to organize the complete information which we gathered from requirement elicitation into the process, whatever format is appropriate for your organization. So based on the organization's policy, we are going to arrange the particular documentation. And mainly, this will be involving user stories, functional decompositions, feature descriptions. So we are just involving the complete documentation in these phases of user stories, functional decompositions, and feature descriptions. So in the user stories, we will be having the complete requirements of the user. So whatever the things they propose will be mentioned in the user stories. And in the functional decompositions, we are going to mention the functionalities. And in the feature description, we are going to mention all relevant features, whatever we are expecting to have in the project. So the last one is requirements confirmation. So requirement confirmation is the process of making sure all stakeholders and team members have a common understanding of what you are trying to build. So making sure with the requirements what we have, and also making sure all the stakeholders and team members to have a common understanding of what we are trying to build. So this involves reviewing and refining the requirements. So here we can have the review and as well as refinement of the requirements. So this is regarding the requirements gathering. At the end of the session, the students will be able to explain the project planning and estimation as well as regarding requirements gathering. Thank you.